Hello everyone, welcome to another video talking geeky stuff with me, Tenshi. So today's video is going to be about one of my favorite all-time manga anime creator, or just a creator in general really, Katsuhiro Otomo. So some of you may have heard of his name. He's famous for his creation of Akira, probably his most I wouldn't say probably, it is his most famous creation. But apart from that, I would say that some creators are kind of more known for, say, either anime or manga, one or the other, right? But I think with Katsuhiro Otomo, he's pretty evenly matched. I mean, Akira was his first full hands-on anime as both as creator, director, story, character design. He practically did everything. Yeah, he had a hand in a few other things in the past as well, like stories, character designs, concept, and everything like that. But of course, anybody who followed my video knows that I did a video before just solely based on Akira as a franchise and how that is, well, one of my favorite all-time animes of all time. And I believe that it's also one of the most important anime as well because the impact it did for anime in the West. But I've already focused a lot on Akira already, so I'd just like to move on. As you can see here, there's another 5 animes that I actually really enjoy. For example, another good one is called Rojin Z or Rojin Z. He produced and wrote the story, but he didn't direct it. I can't remember who directed it. I should have done a bit of research before I did this video. But anyway, that's the fun of my videos is always doing a presentation and then go with the flow. And then of course, the one after it's Memories. It was based on a manga I did, same name, Memories. It's kind of like a compilation of short stories. And I'll go into the manga later on, but another great one. It's got really good mini stories. There's one in there called I think it's called A Magnetic Rose. That's a good one. And then the one that he did as created, directed, and story was Steam Boy. Kind of like a sort of sci-fi movie set in the Industrial Revolution in the UK. The funny thing was I actually saw this in dubbed in Cantonese first. It's actually pretty fun. There's high production value and everything like that. Animation fantastic, you can see a lot more CG to it. Then of course later on I watched it in English and then subtitled. Nowhere near as good. I wouldn't say nowhere near. I mean, it wasn't as good as Akira, but it was pretty decent. And then Metropolis is he teamed up with a bunch of other guys to kind of finish the work of the god of manga, Osamu Tezuka. So Metropolis was based on his work, unfinished work. But of course, Metropolis was loosely based on the 1930s of Metropolis movie, which I think kind of influenced modern day sci-fi movies really. So definitely check that out because he's got a lot of Osamu Tezuka's style of art. So he's like a co-producer and a co-writer. I can't remember who directed it again. I should definitely do some research next time. And another one I do like is Spriggan. He co-produced that, I think, and written it as well. Because one of the main villain is I don't want to spoil it, but it's a typical, I wouldn't say typical, but Katsuhiro Otomo loves using that kind of character. But definitely watch it. Spriggan is actually there was mangas before that, but I've not actually read them yet, so I couldn't tell you how good they are. But the animation is top notch in this one. I mean, I watched it recently. You can tell it's definitely like late 90s, early 2000 anime style. But the action sequence is very good. It's like, I can imagine if some Hollywood director or live action director takes some of those action scenes and make into a live action movie. It's also a nice take on the biblical, I can't pronounce that word, biblical story of Noah's Ark and what the Ark is, but in kind of more of a science fiction way. I think that was a really good take on the story as well. So definitely check out these movies. And moving on, some of his work in manga. And this little text here, Katsuhiro Otomo is one of the greatest directors of modern anime, which I believe so. His name is not only connected to Akira, which is true, but he's also known for a lot of his manga work. I got this post from a web page. It's a Katsuhiro Otomo tribute page. I'm going to link that web page to the description, so definitely check it out. They talk about they showcase his top 10 manga, and here are some of them that I read and really enjoyed. For example, I mean, it was after reading that article in that webpage, I actually found that I did a Batman story. I was like, okay, I didn't realize I did that, so checked it out. Really good. And there's a couple of things like I didn't know as well, like for example, World Apartment Horror. That was by Katsuhiro Otomo and Satoshi Kon, another great anime director. Unfortunately passed away a few years ago, so rest in peace. So here we have on the bottom here it says Katsuhiro Otomo Anthology. That is his version of Memories. Well, that's the Western translation of Memories. Is kind of like a compilation of short stories, and Memories, the anime. A lot of the stories that got animated into Memories were in the Katsuhiro's anthology. Like I mentioned, there's some really short stories. If you've read it, and there's his take on the Little Mermaid story, that is pretty funny. So if you read it, you know what I'm talking about. It's just really weird and quirky. And of course, Cannon Fodder. What's that in the anime? Well, it's one of those here. So confused. I haven't read it for years. But definitely check out the Magnetic Rose. That is fantastic. And of course, if anybody watched my last video, I focused a lot on Legend of Mother Sarah, Domu, and of course I did a whole video on Akira. So those three are my favorite Katsuhiro Otomo's manga. Definitely, if you don't check the other 6 here on my left side, you got to check out those three: Mother Sarah, Domu, and Akira. You owe it to yourself as a manga fan, a comic fan, or just literature fan, or just enjoy some of his artwork, Anyway, moving on. So, let me know. Do you think he is a better anime creator or a manga creator? Or do you reckon like me? I think he is both amazing at both. And as for the anime, which is your favorite? Is Akira your favorite, or do you prefer his other stuff? As for his manga, let me know what's his favorite as well. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you for your time. Please give this video a like, and please consider subscribing. So thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. And most importantly, please stay safe. Until next time, goodbye.